we've touched on this before, that in a lot of ways, sales, whatever your field is, but we've talked about, obviously, with loan originators, that it could be a very like individual thing, right? Or they might have their team around them, but that it's sort of an individual thing, and maybe that mindset has creeped into the culture of the industry, right? Where it's like individuals all vying for the same loans, very competitive. We do things differently here in terms of our sales team. It might be the same in other companies, but I know that here we do things where it's like, if you're part of the team, you're all part of the team. Everyone's trying to help each other, push each other forward. I guess, why to you, and I've heard you say this a lot, why is being a great teammate important to you? And what does that look like?
Well, if you want to facilitate a team atmosphere, then you have to have a collective goal, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're playing sports, the job is to win, right? It's pretty simple, right? So being a great teammate means, very simply, at all times, putting your individual wants to the side in favor of doing whatever is necessary to help the team achieve their mission, right? And so I think it's actually pretty basic, right? In terms of like what it takes to be a great teammate. Behaving that way all the time is quite a little bit, I don't know. It's a different story, right? I mean, right. And so, many of us are wired to be selfish. We see it in professional sports all the time. It's, I don't want to call anybody out, but, we certainly, you could certainly see the difference between there are certain players in team sports all the time that are doing the gritty hard work that is not as glorious, right? And maybe, or I guess the best way to put it is like, you'll see certain players go to a team and adjust to the players around them and become whoever their team needs them to be to help them win the game. And then you see other players who play their way no matter what. If the team doesn't adjust and we lose, so what? I got mine, right? And that's the thing, right? And so that's how I think about it here too. Being a great teammate means it's like, okay, cool. At Princeton, we've defined what winning looks like, right? Now it's, I'm going to do whatever it takes. First of all, I'm going to trust that the organization is going to take care of me if I help us win, right? And so, I trust. I always de facto I give trust until someone proves otherwise, right? I don't make them earn it. I usually trust people out of the gate. I get burned occasionally, but it's a much better way to live my life, and I like to trust people out of the gate. And then, so I trust the organization will take care of me if I do that. And also, by the way, I want to be constantly operating in a way where I'm putting our collective win over optimizing for myself. And I think one thing that I think is different between maybe someone who thinks like I do and someone who has a scarcity mindset and is always working for them, I believe that everybody sees it. I believe that most people have a really keen evolutionary eye for people who are self-serving versus people who are not self-serving. And so I believe that there's selfishly at the end of the day, and that you will get rewarded for putting other people's needs first sometimes if it's for the betterment of the team. Other people tend to think that everybody else is stupid, and they have to try to get theirs because even if they were nice, they would just get taken advantage of, right? And there's a scarcity around that. And I see a lot of successful loan officers, who are not happy because they operate in that scarcity mindset. I know some right here in Charleston who come up right away in my head who you can just I feel contempt from them, although I've never even had a run or anything else. It's like, because I moved here and we have we get loans. It's like, those are my loans. It's like, I think there's enough loans. You know what I mean? There's enough loans for everybody. You get yours, so we'll see.
It brings on this question. So like, is that team mentality at Princeton? Do you think that is a differentiator for us? Is that something that is unique or at least different to Princeton, or is this the way it is around the industry? And I'm not trying to call anybody out specifically. I'm sure, but I've always wondered that. Is this the way it is, or is this a special thing for Princeton?
I lack perspective to like definitively be like Princeton's doing this amazing thing and everybody else isn't.
Right.
Anecdotally, do I have a sense of the fact that generally the kind of people that come to Princeton are coming here because they like the idea of being a part of a team and they like the idea of everybody having that abundance mindset and working together and moving in the same direction? I do. I think at all companies, there are probably groups of people that work collaboratively and have a growth mindset and an abundance mindset and are probably awesome. But I also think that there are leaders and individual cultures of companies that don't necessarily reward that behavior in any sort of extra way. And so they maybe attract people who are optimizing for the self. And by the way, that might be a winning strategy, right? And so I don't criticize, like, maybe the best way to have the best mortgage company in the country is a bunch of ruthless, mean loan officers who are just out there cutting everybody else's throat to get deals. And that may end up winning on the bottom line. Fortunately for me, whether that works or not, it's not the way I'm going to live my life, because I want to live in a place where I'm happy and I enjoy the people I work with and I feel like I'm growing every day. And I do want to be, to me, the joy is in the journey, right? We say here very specifically, what is the mission, the vision at Princeton? It's adventure together, right? It's not adventure alone. It's adventure together. Right? Going on an adventure by yourself for certain people can be very rewarding, right? You climb a mountain, you go up Mount Everest, you're alone, you do it, you celebrate. Yes. For me, it would be far more enjoyable if I did it with an amazing group of people and we could celebrate it together. And so that's just so core to the kinds of people that we want to attract, is that if I'm going to spend the majority of my adult life at work, I want to do it with people who I feel like are amazing.